Good day, everyone. I hope I can be heard. We'll be starting the live, live meeting soon, so just go through some settings and put some syntaxes on the comment section. Okay, I think it's should be okay. Sorry, I'm almost done with the process. Mm, okay, size camera, video. Okay, I hope I can be seen now. I'll give it a little. Yes. Okay, now I'm checking on a different device so what this looks like. Please, if I can't be heard, you should write in the comment section so that yeah, I think this is okay. Camera is quite big. It should be. Okay, now we're going to be talking about this new cryptocurrency that has been introduced into a coin that has been introduced into the crypto space, which is called or known as the Bennett. So basically, we're going to be telling you about it and give you a lot of information that you can know and important information you should know about this project. Okay. Now a bit of history about this currency. It's basically telling you where was the idea of this Bennett, where was the idea of this Bennett cryptocurrency, where was it gotten from, what inspired this idea. So that's what we're going to be talking about on this first page, or the second page actually. Okay, I read. During the reign of Constantine the Great, the Roman Empire was in a deep economic crisis. Okay, if you don't know Constantine or who Constantine is, he was a ruler that ruled one of the greatest nations in the world, which is known in history, which is known as Rome, or people from Rome are called Romans. You must have heard of it somehow or some way, or you must have watched the movie. So, one time he was the ruler of Rome, and during his time there was an economic crisis. Okay, reading on. Constantine the Great solved the problem of the economic crisis carrying out a set of measures to reform the monetary system of the Roman Empire and introducing a new currency, which is the solid. So, him being the leader of Rome at that time, he had to create a new form, or he had to reform the monetary system. What is monetary system? As the word goes, it's the system at which the money in a particular country, any money related issue, the system at which it flows in a particular country or state is known as monetary system. So the monetary system of Rome at that time wasn't very good. That's why Constantine had to reform it. Because if it was very good, it will not the ones that be experiencing things like economic crisis. So for the solution of the economic crisis to be solved, he had to reform the monetary system. And then reformed it by introducing a new currency which is known as the solid. Okay, moving on. The essence of the solid was related to its high quality and constant unchangeable weight, which made it possible to exchange these coins for any other, as well as non-ferrous metals, primarily gold. In today's understanding, solid acted as a kind of gold standard. The name solid comes from the Latin word solidus, which means solid, durable, and massive, and it was the strength of the solid that was the result of the fact that solid was the main monetary unit and later of Byzantium for 700 years. So, Constant, Rome was, okay, Rome is the place, and Constantine, the place he was ruling, is known as Constantinople, but later on it was called Byzantium. So, for over 700 years, they adopted this new form of monetary system. Yeah, they adopted this new form of monetary system. So for what 700 years, they began to use the solid. And if this currency was able to be used for this amount of time, it's a reason that this currency actually worked and solved a lot of economic crises. So it's also said the reason that the solid had the ability to solve the economic problems or crisis. It's also very that the solid according to the Latin word, the solid was a solid object. It was durable and massive, so it has a large size, it was large in size, it was durable. When I mean durable, what it means by durable is simply saying like an object having the ability to last for a very long time. That's the simple definition. So the solid has all this ability. This was but the reasons why the solid was able to change the monetary system from that time, because it was something that could be trusted. The currency and the price of that particular currency would always remain the same as it was known. So it was trusted by everyone who used it. So that's why it became known all over Rome at that time. And if we read on, we discover that not only Rome adopted this new form, other countries adopted it, continents specifically. Due to the high standard, which remained almost unchanged until the fall of Constantinople, solid had a great impact on the minting of gold coins in neighboring countries. So other countries also experienced the impact of solid. Okay, now I hope this can be seen, whatever I'm writing, also whatever I'm reading. Wait, let me check. So, because if it can be seen, tell me, because we're all using different devices. It's really small. Yeah. To do a lot of slow scrolling. Okay, over here. In addition to the currency expressed in paper documentary form, that is ordinary modern money, there are also cryptocurrencies. Okay, reading from here, talking about briefly about cryptocurrencies. If you have no idea what cryptocurrencies are, you should listen to this better, so you can have a basic view or insight of what it's about. It says, today, although gold has a certain value, but from the point of view of modern economic theory, it is only an additional tool that ensures the stability of the economy. So gold is one part of the economy that enhances stabilize the economy. So that's understood. Okay, now reading on. The reforms of Constantine the Great are a kind of prototype for the creation of modern cryptocurrencies. So basically, the way cryptocurrencies are, they're actually trying to copy trying to be like the creation of the solid during Constantine's time. If you notice it, the cryptocurrency has many abilities, and if we read on, we understand the abilities. And when we discover these abilities, we notice that the solid also has this ability. But the main difference between the solid and the cryptocurrency is that the cryptocurrency is on the virtual space. What that simply means is that the virtual space is something that works on the cloud, something that works on the internet. It's not something you can visibly hold with your hands, like you can touch it. It's not something you can do like that. So the solid was something you could touch. It was a real life currency, something you could touch. But the cryptocurrency is also a real life currency, but it's on the virtual space. I mean, your phones, your software devices are what operates it, not a physical withdrawal of the cash or coin. So it's basically not something like that. That's the main difference between it. But simply put, the cryptocurrency is like the solid of the Roman time. Really, carried again. The reforms of Constantine the Great are a kind of prototype for the creation of modern cryptocurrencies. At the World Economic Forum in 2016, the complete displacement of paper money by cryptocurrencies was predicted. Many researchers note that this process is in some way irreversible. Cryptocurrency is strong because it does not depend much on the global economy. Okay, explain this place, talking about World Economic Forum. There was an experiment or research taken in 2016, and they were able to discover that in future times, the use of cryptocurrencies will be dominated, and people will use cryptocurrencies more than the way they use their country's currency. And the reason is because over here we have one important reason. It says cryptocurrency is strong because it does not depend much on the global economy. In case if you do not know this or you know this already, it's just some information. You know that the currency of the country is determined. So the advantages that you get from the currency in your country or the disadvantage you get is as a result of your country's economy. So if your country's economy is 20% balanced, it's going to affect the monetary system of your country. That's why you're going to discover that sometimes when there's how do I say, a non-profitable event that happened in the country, or let's say a natural disaster, we usually hear things like there's a rise in price in the country, inflation, or different economic issues, and all this as a result of the economy of the country. So one reason people should migrate to the cryptocurrency space is because uh, the cryptocurrency is regulated by no one. No one has the ability to control the weather of the cryptocurrency, but your country's currency is regulated by not literally manually, but the flow at which the economic system of your country moves affects your money or affects your country's currency. So that's the big difference. So if you want to have a smoother means for your monetary system, you should migrate to the cryptocurrency. So it's to the cryptocurrency space. So it's also noticed there, it says many researchers note that this process is in some way irreversible. So basically, people we love to cryptocurrency more than their country's currency because the cryptocurrency has a lot of advantages to you as a user. Okay. Another reason is cryptocurrency cannot be stolen, devalued, or denominated by a state decree. Okay, I will explain the stolen part first. What I mean by stolen, for instance, you own a particular coin. No one has the right, no one can steal your coin because it's yours and it's safe in the block, it's saved in the blockchain. And even if your device gets destroyed or gets stolen, something wrong happened to your device or whatever node you're using, your information is still kept safely because your device its specification does not have anything to do with the safety of your information because there are a lot of blockchains connected together, a lot of devices connected together in the blockchain. And when you connect to all these devices, your information still remains secure. The only means your information or your coins or your belongings in your cryptocurrency space can be stolen is when you share a particular secret information about your wallet. I can say, for instance, there's usually something like private access key or passphrase, like 12 different words, random words. They don't make meaning. But in a situation where you have to restore your wallet and you have no idea how to restore, you can use those passphrase and input them in order at which they were given to you, and your wallet is going to be restored. And if in a situation when this information you're supposed to keep secret, in a situation when this information is shared, what happens? It's a result that anyone can access your information as far as they have that particular code. So for you not to experience things like this, for you to experience this full, how do I say this exact theory which says, or this exact law which says cryptocurrency cannot be stolen, for you to experience it at full, you should keep your information safely. So that can also depend on you. The one that says devalued simply means that whatever happens to your country, whatever happens in the states cannot affect the cryptocurrency you are on. Cryptocurrency is the way it is and no state affects it. Okay, so it's not denominated by a state decree. So even if the country decides to ban the use of cryptocurrency in the country, that doesn't mean that cryptocurrency is banned. It's just that it's restricted in a particular country, or maybe the means as it is used is restricted. That's the way it simply is. Okay, now moving on. Future of cryptocurrencies. The modern world is faced with an unprecedented level of unpredictability crisis related to coronavirus infections, which continues to this day. Okay, something I haven't said in this, like today, when I started this presentation or live meeting. One thing we should notice okay, I probably said it, but I didn't say it directly, so I'll explain again. I said that when a disadvantageous event or a non-profitable event happens in a country, there's usually an event of economic crisis. What I was trying to say is, what I'm trying to say now is, there's always something that happens before the economy of the country becomes unbalanced, and it's usually a bad event. Like it's usually something that's not going to profit the country or the state. That's why it's caused the economy to be bad. So, for instance, states where if you read as you follow, or if you follow with me, you'll be able to understand that what happened like 2 years back or 3 years back, 2019 stroke 2020, there was the presence of the COVID-19 virus. And what did this cost to the economy? We noticed that, especially in African countries and European countries, I think Asia was also almost all over the world. I wasn't all over the world, but I've seen the news that the economy of countries was affected. People couldn't eat properly. People couldn't shop and sell and buy properly. Increase in products, and it drastically affected the economy. Definitely. So it says where that the world faces unprecedented level of unpredictability crisis. So there are many crises that the world faces, and we cannot predict them. No one could have predicted coronavirus. So over here it's saying, what do we do when it happens? Because we can't predict, but we have to prepare for something that happens. So I read the pandemic will end, but the world community will inevitably solve the problems associated with the restoration of the global financial system. So the world economy has to come together and solve the problem. So what do we do to solve the problems? Okay, I finish it. Okay, now the future of cryptocurrencies. One of the solutions to such problems is the development of cryptocurrency market and the widespread introduction of the ability to pay with it in a variety of countries, both in cash and digital money. States cannot but take such a step, otherwise they'll become disconnected from world economy. So I'll just say this in a very basic form. It's simply saying that the world should adopt a new means of payment. So the local means, I won't say local already, the traditional means of payment should be like I don't use a very offensive word. Okay, what I said is that the world economy should adopt this new form of payment, which is the cryptocurrency payment, being able to pay for any goods or services, pay for those goods and services in cryptocurrencies, and this will boost the economy of each and every country that participates in it. And if any country does not participate, it will be automatically cut off, not manually. Like not someone literally cutting them off from the world economy. I mean, they will be automatically cut off because the world will be moving at a faster pace. And if the country, this particular country, for instance, this country in question does not adopt this new form, they will definitely be backward. So for them not to be backward, they have to adopt this new form of money. So I've just understood. Okay, now reading on. If we analyze the history of Solid, we can say that this coin has long been the main one, not only in Europe but also in Asia. So I was explaining before that Solid was not just adopted in Europe, but Asian countries adopted it. Okay, and its importance in many ways predetermined the development of financial systems, not only in Rome but also in other countries. So the financial system of different countries was also increased and developed due to the presence of the solid monetary system. So one thing I was explaining when I said countries will be cut off. The moment these countries see that a particular country is using a new monetary system and is boosting their economy really fast and rapidly, what do other countries do? They automatically adapt to this new form of monetary system, so as for their economy's profit, so the economy can also boost and develop. And this is how basically how the cryptocurrency works. So the more people use it, the more other people are introduced to it, and more attractive they become for the safe and the profitable aspect of it. Okay, the main idea in this case is to increase reinforcement and confidence in the particular currency. It's the cryptocurrency that acts as an innovative tool that can not only stop inflation but also provide an unprecedented increase in cost. So, uh, Cryptocurrency does not just stop inflation; it also gives you a cost, or how do I say, a profit for you as a user. If you must have heard of cryptocurrency, that's the main topic people talk about, making profit out of crypto coins and cryptocurrencies. So, I'm talking about the 1847 Florence. Florence is a country, I think. Hope I'm not mistaken. I know it's a place definitely. So, in 1847, there was a crisis which resulted in the creation of a new monetary system. The name of the crisis is called uh, Black Plague, and it results in a monetary system which is called the fiat money, also known as the seniorage. Okay, let's read and understand. Um, the modern financial system is a model of relationships based on trust. The history of the modern fiat money began in 1347 in Florence. Okay, what's fiat money first? First of all, fiat money is simply the government of a country or a state determining the amount of money printed. That's the basic form of definition. We can see something over here. So basically, how much money is printed. So the government of the state determining how much they want, or when I mean how much, I'm not talking about the amount altogether. They can say, I want, this is an example, please. And they can say, I want 10,000 copies of $100 bill to be printed in this country. Definitely, when it's American, is the dollar bill. So we can say 10,000 copies of this, and I explained that this factor, this instructions and command can be determined due to different factors like environmental factors, population factors, how do I say? I don't know how to put it, but like taking care of factors, taking care of the country as a whole, and being putting the countries into consideration. So a lot of factors affect it, but most of these factors are not very accurate due to the fact that they always change time to time, even seconds to seconds. So that's basically fair. The definition of fair money. So it's simply the government of the country saying amount of money that we printed. Can I give you an example again? Like the country or the one in charge says, I want 1,000 copies of $100 bill. Okay, let me use an African currency, the Nigerian naira or the Zambian kwacha. Let's say they want to say this amount of kwacha is 1,000 kwacha will be printed. We want 100,000 copies of this 1,000 kwacha to be printed, and that's how it just simply goes. So you can be wondering, where does this money come from? There's always an amount that has been ready on how much of it will be printed. So that's basically what the fiat money is. So fiat money was introduced in 1347. So basically, this is the history where it started from. Okay, reading on. It was the year of the outbreak of the Black Plague, so there was also a pandemic at that time. This was the beginning of the economic crisis, together of which people had to reform the monetary system and create a new type of money, which is the fiat money, from the Latin word which means proclamation and permission. It was during the years of the terrible epidemic that society agreed with the proclamation of the status of paper money as a means of payment. The production of paper claims has turned into a business whose name is seigniorage. Now, what's seigniorage? Seigniorage is the income received by the issuer of money or the right of ownership. So, the one issuing the money, the one having the ability to control the amount of money, is called a seigneur. And basically, there's always an income he receives for giving the money out. So basically, it's now a business. As the word says here, the Andama words, it says away that the production of paper claims has turned into a business. So it's a business, which I can literally say like 90% of countries all over the world is practicing. If you have let's say, if you have the paper money in your country, like the money you use for transactions, you use them one time in your life. The country was practicing fiat money at the time. That's the remaining. So, okay, now reading on. The seigneury business consisted of mounting coins from the customer's materials, where as payment for the work performed, the seigneur kept part of the material for himself. Centuries later, the spiral of history is making a new turn, and once again, the world is facing an epidemic that has caused a global crisis of confidence in the established institutions of power and financial institutions over the centuries. Okay, now the main topic. What is Bennett? And if you don't know, this is the logo. In case if you're downloading it from Play Store, so you know what it looks like. Okay, now what is Bennett? When it comes to when it comes to economics, it is necessary to turn to the experience of our ancestors without repeating their mistakes and taking as a basis the best that our predecessors had. It is for this reason that we want to remember the legacy of Constantine the Great and present the Bennett project, which is, okay, now the definition of Bennett. Bennett is abbreviated for the word benediction, from the word benediction. And benediction simply means a pattern word, usually a good word, definitely. And it's also, it simply means profit, it simply means advantageous, what's gained from that particular thing. So that's the definition of Bennett. Okay, now Bennett is a project to revive the virtual space. The virtual space I explained before. It's simply like internet. Yeah, it's simply like the internet. It's not something you can literally touch, it's something you work with softwares. So remember the Solid was like a physical currency you could touch. But the Bennett is like it's on the virtual space. It's not something you can literally touch, but it's something you can operate and see the result in your everyday business and financial life. Carried again is a project to revive in the virtual space the equivalent of a gold solid, which has become a prototype of modern reserve currencies used worldwide as a benchmark for the value of fiat money. Okay, Bennett is a peer-to-peer network with its own blockchain, and blockchain is used to store data, the format of which allows you to securely store recorded information about any event created in a cryptographic application. So it stays away that Bennett has the ability to also store recorded information. Okay, we understand that as well. We understand that it's not just any form of information. It means you can store files, you can store pictures, you can store videos, you can store documents. Forms of information can be kept there and recorded and saved properly. Okay, Bennett is a decentralized cryptocurrency with an environmentally friendly mining method for each owner. So if you have a particular coin or you're mining in Bennett, you have uh, you have the ability to mine at an environmentally or ecologically friendly way. In other words, it's not going to affect your environment. It's not something that your environment can affect. It always gives you the profit. You always see the profitable aspect of it as a user. Okay, the consensus of the decentralized network and the integrity of the blockchain are achieved thanks to advanced development. You know, if you have no idea what the blockchain is, I'll give you an example before I read this. Blockchain is simply as the word goes. There are blocks, or this blocks has the ability. Okay, there are blocks, and this blocks has the ability to contain information. And they're not just one. It's not just one block. There are a lot of blocks, different blocks altogether, and all these blocks altogether, they have the ability to contain information, and they're connected to each other. I don't know if they're ropes connected to each other, but basically, if things are connected to each other, it can be given the name as chain. So when they say like food chain, simply means how different creatures, how they eat and how they are at the top of the chain, and how dangerous are they, simply put. So, and they're connected with chains, and if you can see them, if you have seen the food chain, you notice that it's on a table from up to down or down to about a restaurant. So basically, the chain simply means connected. So there are blocks that have the ability to contain information, and they are all connected together. The reason they're connected together is for decentralization and safety purposes. I explained before that if you are using the device and if it's anything bad happened to it, like it got stolen or you misplaced it or it got bad, the information will not be tampered with because the device is not just the only device contributing to the security. There are other devices contributing to the security. And you ask, why is my device contributing to the security? The security of the virtual space is always contributed by nodes. Okay, I'm speaking too much things. We'll see them here as we go. We'll see the definitions so we can understand them. Okay. Now a little bit about blockchain. As with other cryptocurrencies, the Bennett database is built and stored in a linked series of blocks known as the blockchain. And the advanced algorithm proof-of-timestake is an impeccable implementation of the age of the coin concept, which is resistant to all possible attacks on the blockchain in order to falsify transactions and generate new coins. In the proof-of-timestake model used by Bennett, network security is regulated by nodes that have a share of coins in the network. So I explained before that the security of the network is regulated by nodes. Okay, for you to just know what nodes are right away. A Bennett network node is any device that contributes a transaction or data or block data to the network. Simply put, any device with Bennett software is treated as a node. That's understandable. Your device has installed Bennett, you have the wallet and you're operating Bennett, you're managing your device is a node, and your device is contributing to the network security. I hope that's understood. And if you can hear me, please indicate. I'll check the comment section soon. The Bennett network has remained decentralized since its inception, and as the number of users grows, it becomes more and more decentralized. I explained before that the more users grow in a particular currency, it becomes more decentralized, in the sense that the security increases and the awareness and decentralization also increases side by side actually. Bennett uses an eco-friendly mining system in which each coin is a virtual mining farm with a differentiated generation rate. So I go again. Bennett uses an environmentally friendly mining system in which each coin is a virtual mining farm with a differentiated generation rate. So differentiated means simply means different. That's what it says. So it's saying all coins in Bennett has the ability to mine in the virtual space, in the virtual mining farm. You can see it, you can't really touch it, but it's mining and it increases and it can also decrease also. So there's an ecologically friendly mining way of mining Bennett coins, and also it mines virtually. So I don't know what I'm explaining. This is simply easy to understand. And depending on whether the account provides generation of influx in blockchain chain or not, okay, Bennett network nodes do not issue coins as a result of creating blocks, but only determine the rate of generating new coins for account people in maintaining the operation of the decentralized network, for which they receive commissions for transactions recorded in blocks created. Okay, I explained this part talking about Bennett node. So if your device has a Bennett software in it, your device is a node, and therefore you understand that network security is regulated by nodes that have a share of coins in the network. So understanding. How does it work? Speaking about the eco-friendly mining, how does it work? Eco-friendly mining Bennett. Eco-friendly mining of Bennett is performed in two states, which is the soft mining and the hard mining. The soft mining is the software method for generating new coins with an account balance available to each owner, with each coin holder using a private access key. The private access key is something you as the owner of the wallet should know, and I think you should know it alone because it's your wallet. For safety reasons also, okay, soft mining is a software mining method. Is software method. Okay, first of all, what's a software and what's hardware? I'm reading this file now on the PC or on the laptop, and this file I'm reading is a software. I can read it, but I can't really touch it. I can't really feel the texture of the paper or something. But if it's printed out, I can touch it. I can literally cancel with pen or cover or something with inks. And the reason I can do that is because it's an hardware copy of the file. So software simply means the part you can touch, or you can see the operation and you can actually operate. And the hardware part having to do with a machine, you can literally see and also operate. I mean, it's operatable. That's what I mean. Okay, soft mining is the software method for generating new coins with an account balance available to each coin using private access key. So the means at which your coin generates and counts developing equation is called the software mining. It's called the soft mining. Now speaking about the hard mining, which is the definition says the hard mining is a software and hardware method of mining coins using specialized equipment. So there's a specific instrument or equipment or machine that does this, and that machine stores, say, specialized equipment that stores an up-to-date copy of the blockchain and is synchronized with the general network to participate in the generation of new blocks. So one thing that this equipment does, or this machine does, is synchronize the blockchain. It keeps an up-to-date copy of the blockchain. Another thing it does is to participate in the generation of new blocks. So as everyone is making new blocks in the blockchain of Bennett, it helps with the operation rate. Simply put, it's the one that actually creates it. It's a machine that works with it. Okay, now talking about Bennett eco-friendly mining. And also, if you have questions, before I continue, if you have questions, you should put them in the comment sections. They will be answered. Possibly, if I don't have the answers, the management will be able to give suitable answers for that. Okay, now talking about Bennett eco-friendly mining. Okay, it says it's a perfect patent protected tool for promotion and popularization, allowing you to establish links with blockchain fixation according to the principle of multi-level marketing. It was created on the basis of time-tested technologies in businesses developing on the basis of network structures and other cryptocurrencies. The main advantage of Bennett eco-friendly mining is reliable protection against interference in the mining mechanism and its absolute transparency. All users can track the number of coins mined over time. So simply putting this down, it simply says that whatever changes happen in your wallet, you can be able to get the reason at which they happen. There's always a means at which you can check whatever changes happen in your wallet. You can understand why a particular coin in your wallet was increased or reduced or add extra. There's always an answer to it because there's a transparent means at which you can be. When it means transparent, it simply means there's nothing to hide. You see through it. You see from the back and the front, every corner. There's a means for you to get an information about every situation that happens in your wallet. Okay, now if I continue, what is it for reason about this? Check the comment section. Okay. Okay. Continuation. You know, what is this the Bennett coin? What is it for? What is the one of the main foreign functions? We all know that cryptocurrency usually has to do with profit. You keep it the coin, as people usually make practice of keeping the coin, letting it grow for some time, then you can exchange it with your currency and make money, things like that. But Bennett is not just about that, it's also about this, which we're gonna talk about. So now what is it for? We understand the importance of decentralized database, which are usually called the blockchain, and we had that idea. We try to combine the reliability and security of the classic cryptocurrency, as well as the advantages of hash functions, the use of which is in demand in various spheres of human life, for which we created the Bennett Hash crypto application. So, if you do not know what a hash function is, which is spelled HASH and functions, there's a part of the blockchain that keeps information of transactions, of infos of buyers, sellers, coin that was sold at a particular time, the time it was sold, wallet name, and information, just general information which can actually save you someday. And a part of the blockchain that does this thing or that fully holds this power is called the hash functions, which you probably must have heard of the first time, or if this is not the first time, you must have heard of it. And so Bennett is the Bennett project. There's the implementation of this fully as an aspect of its own, not just a part that keeps information as a transaction, but an aspect of its own that keeps literal information. Literal information. So it says where the Bennett hash is a decentralized platform for storing important or interesting events taking place in people's lives. So whatever event happens in people's life is keepable. I don't think that's the word. I mean, you can be able to store the information storable on the Bennett Dash platform. Example of information: you have graduations, funerals, birthdays, weddings. Funerals. It doesn't have to be a good event, or it doesn't have to be a joyful event. There are many types of events. So all events can be kept on the Bennett Dash platform as far as an event and the situation that actually happened. So I hope that's understood. Okay. Bennett Dash is a native application that allows you to sign any event, incident, state with accurate time recording and hashtag of the event. So you have the ability to store the information with specific tags to it. You can say, this app doesn't have to be manual. You don't have to put the time manually. The system already knows how to put that. You have to put the time according to your, what's this called? GMT, I think GMT, how the coin, sorry, how your country's time is, it's gonna give you the information according to the time you kept it, the seconds, specifically the dates, the year, information like that, and also actually the event. Okay, instead of giving a definition, I'll just give you an explanation so you can think about it. Let's say you're a furniture, you work as a furniture person, like you're a carpenter, for instance. Okay, there's a carpenter, sorry, and he has a Facebook page, for instance, a business Facebook page where he posts, where he puts his pictures of his work or things he has made and stuff like that. Let's say he put a picture of an office table. For instance, you have no idea of tables, but this picture it did is one of the work he did, which is an office table, and he took a picture of it on different sites and posted it on his Facebook page. And what that kind of thing he put an hashtag is simply mean you must have seen this sign. If you don't know, you can just type it on the internet. What is an hashtag? You see an hashtag, or you see all those things. So basically, you can put an hashtag for that particular table picture. Um, sorry. What are kind of hashtags you can put on it? Basically, let's say there's the office table. So the kind of hashtags you can put is hashtag office table or table for the office, however you want to put it. So if someone's like searching on the Facebook to buy a table, for instance, it's possible. Yeah, you want to buy a table, for instance, you can say I want to buy, for instance, take office table, and it's put on the search bar. And because of the hashtag this person has put on his product, it's automatic. That person's product will be among the listed things that will be on the person's search bar or on the person's search page. The result as which is because of this the hashtag function. And the person might not just decide to put office table. He can also or table for the office. The person can also put another hashtag and put something like let's say the measurement of the table, the product of the wood used for the table, and the guarantee of the table, different information about the table. Just trying to think what can the viewers ask about this, and this is the main function of the hashtag. So basically, if you put a video, for instance, of a graduation on the Benedash platform, and something happens, let's say you store the information that let's say high school graduation in the year 2019. Probably it seems like a long topic or a title for an information. And let's say you don't remember that exact title, but you have an hashtag questions and you just put my graduation, college graduation, and you put it on a Bennett Ash platform search bar. You just go college graduation, and all of a sudden, or high school graduation, all of a sudden, the information you've kept there will be regenerated because of the hashtag function. Although that's very understandable because that's a very long example. So please understand. All events are stored in a cryptographically protected blockchain database running in a peer-to-peer network and JVM environment. Okay, moving on. Bennett coins are used as fuel to upload Bennett Dash files to the blockchain. So for your Bennett Hash platform to work perfectly, you have to have Bennett coins. And you have to have Bennett coins. And the Bennett coins are what make the Bennett Dash platform work. You already know, we have implemented an environmentally friendly way of mining coins and burning coins efficiently. To upload files, the use of bonds coins in the proportion of 10 Bennett coins for 1 KB of information located in the block limited to 2 MB. So the way at which the file is, let me give you an example. Let's say a warehouse, and this warehouse is open to the public to be used. So, and in this warehouse, there are I think they're called containers or crates. How do I say? Like I use general, they are box or vaults kept in the warehouse, and these vaults no longer you can only own them by buying them with a particular coin. Let's say this entire warehouse is called Benedash, and those vaults are called I don't want to give them. Let's say blocks. Okay, I can't do the word here. It says block. Let's say they are blocks basically, and the warehouse is called Benedash, and inside of the warehouse there are blocks. And this block they have the ability to contain a maximum of 2 MB. If you don't know what MB are, check it for. The fact you're watching this video actually means you have a phone or you have a device or someone else's device, and you must have seen it when you're buying, when you're subscribing to the internet. You must have seen the kilobytes, MB, terabytes, and gigabytes. And terabytes. That's very rare, but people definitely use. So there are means of storing information, there are units for storing information. So it's saying that in this warehouse called the Benedash, for instance, there are blocks in it, and these blocks has a single block has the ability to contain a maximum. In other words, you can only put to this extent a maximum of 2 MB. So your information in one block cannot exceed 2 MB of information. And how does this work? Over here we have a conversion which says 10 Bennett coins is equivalent to 1 KB of information. So, example, I want to keep 4 KB of information. Let's say 10 KB actually. 10 KB of information. This picture, for instance, is 10 KB. You must have seen files on your phone that has 10 KB of space. It's very small, but this is quite a space. So let's say you want to keep this 10 KB of picture in the Bennett platform. So all you have to do is multiply 10 Bennett by 10 KB, which will be 100 Bennett coins. And 100 Bennett coins will buy 10 KB of space on the block. So in the warehouse, you want to keep your picture, your 10 KB picture. So you buy for the you buy. Okay, you don't have to buy the entire block actually. You can actually buy the space. It's the way this text is related. So the explanation is you can actually buy. You can decide to buy the entire block, but you can also buy a specific place for it. So basically, you bought the 10 KB of space for 100 Bennett coins, and you can put your information on it, and the process works as this. So explanation for that also. Okay, now this has to be small to be seen. So this okay. Now speaking about scope of application. How okay scope first. Speaking about how it works, I think now Bennett solution, blockchain solutions, Bennett Dash. The Bennett Dash is the world's first public blockchain repository, use of which is required in many years including code. If I'm explaining this right, simply saying Bennett Dash is the first cryptocurrency that implements the hash function in full. Okay, now when I mean full, I mean meaning that no one has really thought about this. They usually use it in the form of transactions or record keeping information about transactions. But this has to do with events and all forms of how capable previously. Okay, now the scope of application. Already in 2024, we will release an application for free access, which you'll be able to use for notaries. And notaries means related to information security for registration. Let's say you want to get into an exam or an national exam, you have to put some information definitely, like your passport has to go definitely. Your what else can go? Yeah, your passport has meaningful information. So in the passport information, you should have the photograph or your passport photo. You should have email address. I don't think that's in the passport, but you can also give that your email address, and you should have your date of birth, state of origin, information like that. And Benedash has the ability to keep all this kind of information for different reasons, for safety reasons, because it's not just information kept on the file in an SD card or in a device that you simply charge, or in your phone or a printed form, which can be burnt or wet. It's an information that is kept on the blockchain itself. In other words, nothing really can actually alter it, except the blockchain itself dies. The information is kept. Okay, now, so notaries, that's what it's simply about registration, signatures of participants. Okay, now, highway administration. Simply put, this simply means any event that happens on the highway can be kept there. An accident or disobeying of traffic laws or anything happening on the highway can be kept on the blockchain of payment. Now, law is related to anything related to law related information, like transaction between people relating having them to have a legal transaction within each other and legal paperwork, or also relationship based information. There are a lot of relationships that have to do with law, like people that are divorced. They are divorced, they have to go through paperwork, or getting married also they have to go through paperwork. Getting admitted into the university or into a school, you have to go through paperwork. Paperwork is simply generalized. And so we can keep paperwork information in the blockchain. And scope of application. You know, you had Bennett tool and the Bennett 6. It says already that in the near future we have planned the release of two applications from the Bennett series. One which is the 6 at Bennett to protect against unfounded accusations of harassment. And I explained this before, like to prevent against things like allegations. So the two individuals they have to come together and keep the information on the Bennett blockchain, because a situation can arise of allegations, and this can be a very good means for evidence, as to say an event never happened. Okay, yes, it doesn't just happen between two parties. It can happen from a third party. I hope that's understood. Now, talking about auto dependent. I can spend it for situations happening on the highway. Okay, yes, specifically talking about this place talking about car owners, racers, sellers, and buyers. So I've just understood. Okay, now the word clinical event is one of Bennett's most important philosophy. I think it's the most important actually. Okay, now what clinical events I read. But the most important application of our technology is something that's not yet close to the market. The word clinical events, and this is a chronicle written by people who speak different languages, profess different religions, and live in different parts of the globe. After all, the most important thing is memory, which is the past, and the past is the beginning of the whole present. The future is impossible without the past. With our application, you will have the opportunity to upload events important to your family to the data warehouse, be it photos, videos, or documents. And thus, in 100 to 200 years, your descendants will easily be able to learn everything about you, see what you were, and therefore remember you always, in fact, give you immortality. Okay, reading on. This is the beauty of the blockchain. Your events will not disappear anywhere because they are stored on a million devices around the world. This way, you will definitely leave your mark on the word chronicle. On the word chronicle. With the help of Beledash, the present, the past, the present, and the future of you and the family has existed, exists, and will always exist. Okay, now how to get the coin? If you do not know how to get the coin, there's a link on the comment section. You can actually copy it and put to your browser and paste in the browser, and it takes you to the right application. And if you do not have it, it's tell you to download, obviously. And you can also follow this link at Bennett1 underscore bot. I think this is on Telegram, or you can get the application on Google Play Store. Right now, there's no iOS version, there's no Apple version for it. Okay, talking about emission, simply how does the coin emit? Can I read the first paragraph of a defendant cryptocurrency? It implements the function of increasing the base rate of coin mining for miners who support the performance of a peer-to-peer network. Okay, you might not understand this this letters written here, but I'll give you the explanation with the table which is given. So the first one, it says at the title says the basic speed of eco-friendly soft mining without a complicated coefficient. So the first part says the percentage of mining your coins in 24 hours without a complicated coefficient, and the second part says the amount of coins in the account. So it simply is to understand. So if your wallet, in one wallet of your Bennett wallet, for instance, in your Bennett software you have one wallet, for instance, and in that one wallet you have less than 1 Bennett coin. You'll be mining at 1% of Bennett, 1% rate, which is pretty slow, but it's not the slowest. So it's not the fastest actually. So if you have less than one Bennett coin, like 0.569 Bennett coins, for instance, they are more actually. But if you're mining at that particular amount, like under 1, you mine at 1% rate. And if you have from 1 Bennett coin to 10,000 Bennett coins, you will mine at 0.25%, which is really fast. And not very fast, but it's fast. So if you have from 10,000 Bennett coins to 100,000 Bennett coins, you'll be mining at 0.5%, which is like the fastest for single accounts or single wallets. And if you notice, it stopped at this maximum, which is 100,000 Bennett coins. And the reason for this, it's stated over here, says the maximum number of coins that can be mined in one section does not exceed 10,000 Bennett, and upon reaching 100,000 Bennett, the account stops mining until the balance decreases. So the account stops mining until the balance decreases, until it goes down to probably zero if you do not know about it. So what do you do to avoid this and to not reduce your coin balance? So what do you do to avoid this? It states away that the coefficient of acceleration of coin mining from affiliated wallets in 10 dimensions. What's affiliated wallet in 10 dimensions? So it simply means having 10 wallets. Simply means, and how are they affiliated? It's simply you having the first wallet, then you made another wallet. So the first amount of Bennett coin you sent, it doesn't matter, just the first amount of Bennett coin you sent to your second wallet will be and must be from your first wallet. And you made a third wallet, and the first amount of Bennett coin you sent, or the first Bennett coin you sent to your third wallet is from your second. You made the first to the fourth to be for the third, and you did this to the 10. So In other words, your 10th wallet got the first Bennett coin from your 9th wallet, and these wallets are automatically affiliated to each other. And what's the advantage of this? Remember, if you have 100,000 Bennett coins, it reduces. So to avoid this, you divided the coins, for instance, in this account, and altogether you had from 100,000 Bennett coins, which was the limit, to a million Bennett coins. You mine at 1.2 acceleration coefficient. So basically, to multiply your acceleration rate, which is already, but to multiply it and give it a different value. So if it was at a particular rate and it's multiplied by 1.2, what happens? It increases the rate at which it was moving. So basically, the more the coins increases in all these affiliated wallets altogether, the more they multiply with your acceleration coefficient, your percentage, your acceleration rate. So the more advantageous it becomes to you as a user. Mhm. I was talking about one time when I saw someone mining at 0.9%, and I just did a calculation. It seems the person had, well, over 10 million Bennett coins in all his affiliated wallets, and if you multiply 1.8 multiplied by I, which is 0.5, you'll be getting a 0.9%. That's very fast. You'll be like mining like a stopwatch. I hope this is understood. Okay, I read this. It's very simple maintaining a constant account balance in the range from 20,000, what is this? 100,000 to, this should be 10,000, from 10,000 to 100,000 coins. The issue will be 0.5% a day. And to apply the acceleration factor 1.2, you will need to create a second block of 10 accounts sequentially, thus increasing the rate of issue of 10 accounts with the first block by 20%. Okay, I already explained that. Okay, now talking about the roadmap. Simply means all the, okay. It says this. To date, the following task has been completed. So it's talking about the events that has happened and the progresses which have been made and future progresses which will be made. Okay, blockchain launch on the 19th of December 2021, which was last year, pretty recent. Number two, we have started to responsibly implement the memorandum described in the top left section of white paper. Number three, our own wallet for Android devices has already been developed, which can be gotten on Android Play Store or the market you use for your Android device, because currently there's no iOS version or iPhone version for it. Okay, number four, on July 7, 2022, the exchange trading of the Bennett cryptocurrency began on exchangext.com. Number five, in the very near future, a wallet will appear in the App Store. I explained this. And number six, on August 15, 2022, a grand event took place. The company Soldo Constant LTD has completed the purchase and merger with the company BNP Limited. And the company BNP Limited is a pioneer in the field of software development, data processing, as well as other activities in the field of information technology. Okay, now talking about the Bennett philosophy. I'll just run through this. Okay, Bennett philosophy. The main advantage of our projects. Okay, I read it up. Bennett is not only a cryptocurrency; it's also a philosophy, and not everyone likes it. A real cryptocurrency cannot have a declared value, so Bennett is worth nothing. The main advantage of our project is its absolute openness and transparency for users, which is confirmed by the history of its transactions. Each wallet owner is an issuer. Respectively, the more people use it, the more reliable and durable the project is. Currently, we are making every effort to make our project interesting in various countries of the world, which is part of this action we're doing. It's a step we're actually taking to make the world understand this project and the advantages, features it brings to everyone. Okay, we hope that our concept of seigniorage, which will later be used to upload events to Benedash, will be of interest to many. In order to become an ambassador of Benet protect your country, simply you can just go to the Benet website, benet.cc, and go to the menu bar, or I think it's a name for it. I don't remember the name, but you can just go to something like it's like a menu bar, and you can go there and become. You can touch the ambassador's bar, click or open it so you can fill your information. Okay, perhaps the most important purpose of our Dash platform is that there's no censorship here. There is only the truth here. You will not be able to delete or retouch a photo or event. You will not be able to change the document that you upload, and that's fine. It will allow you to remain real, natural, and sincere. So basically, you cannot change the information that you have kept. If you can change the information, it's as a result saying that this information is not trustworthy because it's editable. Okay, moving on. Sincerity has magnetism and is always felt by people. Sincere interest is always rewarded. Its man will always be answered. Sincerity allows you to feel like at full capacity, allows you to show natural individuality and make people close in spirit. Together we are always stronger, which simply means decentralization. And okay, it says, join us and may the blessing of constant LTD come with us. Now talking about the words of the CEO, which you already read. His name is Boris Bartolov, and it says, it seems to me that we've come up with something that is not yet close to the market. We have come up with, let's call it, for example, a word chronicle of events. This is a chronicle written by people who speak different languages, profess different religions, and live in different parts of the globe. And he's the CEO and the founder of the blockchain, the cryptocurrency. Okay, now the lead manager is Igor Pushanov, and the founder of Soldo Constant LTD, which we talked about, his name is Dimitri Sokolov. Now for this is the website, benet.cc, and this is the number to contact, and this the email address, or however you want to talk with them on email. Okay, okay, basically the contact information. Now I'm talking about the benediction, because the conclusion we can say nothing can stop us anymore, because the brand is not important, words are not important, components are not important. Only one thing is important: unification. And the more of us, the stronger we are, and we are together, and the blessing of Constantine is with us. Thank you for staying with us to the end. So we'll be running off this meeting. If you have questions or contributions, sorry. A minute. Okay. If you still have questions or contributions, you can put them now, but I think we'll already be on schedule. So I'll be saying good night to everyone. So see you next time and stay good night. Good night.